Hey y'all, Orlando here. We're going to do a little something different tonight. And you'll have to ignore Marco. He's in a roaming mood, so you'll hear him clicking around. Thanks to a very, very generous viewer, who is also a very great guy, actually a friend of mine, and one of my volunteers for the nonprofit that I volunteer my time to. Thanks to him, he donated, or he and one of the other volunteers donated a little something to my channel because we had an excellent opportunity this weekend. So I've decided to do an unboxing video with a little bit of a knowledge drop included, and then a little fun at the end. So, having said that, I want to say publicly, Jason, thanks, man. And I'm still unclear as to whether or not who else was involved, but whoever else was involved, I appreciate it as well. You just don't know how much I appreciate it. So having said that, let's get on with this unboxing. Now this isn't a unboxing of a mail call or anything like that. Nope. We're actually going to open a case of MREs. In this case, it's a 2016 Production B case of military MREs. And before I pop the bands, I want to go over a couple of things on the box just for people that aren't familiar, because I do try to educate as much as I can. So I want to break down what's on this box so you'll know what you're looking at. Now, military MREs are always going to have two dates listed on them. They're going to have a pack date and an inspect test date. That's always going to be 3 years from the pack date. Now, these, as you can see, were packed beginning of February 2016. Inspect is February of 2019, which is where we're at. That explains why these are out on the market for sale. Now, let me go ahead and bust this myth right now. This is not an expiration date. This is an inspect date. There is a difference. There is no expiration date on MREs. There is no expected time frame on MREs. Because there are so many variables that can cause MREs to degrade. Number one being heat, that they don't list expirations. Because there have been cases of MREs, and there's people that will tell you stories of this, that especially in desert environments, because again, heat is the number one destroyer of MREs, that they've gotten MREs that were less than a year production that were bad. So situations like that, and I will post a link because MRE Info has a real good chart about MRE degradation based on stored temperature. And I mean, 3 years at 70 degrees is, what they consider an optimum temperature. If memory serves me correctly, 70 is standard room temperature for most places. And again, 3-year pack date. Now there's also another 3-year that's very interesting with MREs, but I'll get to that later in the trivia part. But the colder these are kept, the longer they will last. And that chart shows it. And like I say, I'll put a link to that down below. That way you can go take a look at it on MRE Info and see, how just a 10-degree change in temperature can extend the life so much. Now, that's not to say that they're guaranteed to go bad in that extreme heat, because sometimes, it depends on the packaging, it depends on the item. There's so many variables. That's why we always say, when you're dealing with questionable items, use your senses and trust your senses and your instincts. When in doubt, toss it out. That has been a rule in every restaurant I have worked in, every food service job I have had. When in doubt, toss it out. It's not worth the risk. Okay. Now, back to the heat issue. That's going to be normally, well, this one doesn't have it. All right, I'm slightly embarrassed. Sorry, give me just a second, because I'm trying to pull the one off of the other one, but these things are not made to come off. That's why I'm surprised there's not one on there. Really weird. Okay, so normally, somewhere on this side would be one of these. They have it labeled. I'm trying to get it where you can read it. Sorry. Here we go again with the zoom and the focus. They have fresh check indicator on there, but it's also called the time temperature indicator. What that is it is a indicator that lets you know whether or not these have been kept in optimal temperatures. Basically, they're heat indicators. It's like if you've ever left a thermal receipt in the car on a hot day, went back 2 days later and the whole receipt was completely dark. That's what this does. The hotter it gets, the darker it turns. So as long as you see that little orange dot in the middle there, see how the middle is orange? Well, it's curling up on me. This is just real fun. As long as you see that dot in the middle, that means it's been kept at a good temperature, and, you know, theoretically it should be in great shape. So, all right. Now, back to the side. Another indicator that you've got the real deal MRE is this. The crescent moon has been the quartermaster food indicator since pretty much World War II. So seeing that crescent moon lets you know that this is a military ration, and it's a, you know, it's very, very, very rare to see it on non-military items. All right. Now the next thing. It'll have the company it came from, in this case, Ameriqual Packaging out of Evansville, Indiana. It'll have a breakdown of the NSN number, the national stock number. Meal, ready to eat individual. It'll have the weight. And of course, it always has the U.S. government property commercial resale is unlawful. But that has been debunked several times. That's why you still see these on eBay and out in the open market. It's not... There has been no law they have shown to show this is actually illegal. I could be wrong. Don't get me... you know, pretty much everything I'm saying here is based on personal research, and I will be the first to admit I can be wrong. And please feel free to drop down in the comments and drop knowledge, because again, one of the reasons I do this is to expand, teach, and pass along knowledge. Now, let me find it here. One of the best ways when you get an open case like this, you see a lot of people pull out knives to go ahead and cut this banding up here. But there's actually a trick. And if you feel along the banding, you will feel where it is sealed. In this case, you can see that there. Flip that over. The inside is normally loose. Feel that. And it just pops right off. And this is not just on this. This is any type of material you get that has that banding. This will almost always work. Very rarely have I seen it not work. And I've done more warehouse work than I care to admit to. Alright. Trash those. Now, the first thing you're going to see when you open up one of these cases, and these things are glued, so be prepared. I'm moving my table if that tells you anything. There we go. Right, you can see the glue that they used here. So, and the first thing you see when you open it up is an internal cardboard protector, and that is also wrapped around. Once you open that up, you actually see the MREs. As you can see, these things are in there. They are tight. And again, this is case B, so it's going to be 13 through 24. And they're not in here in any order. First one I pull out, right in the middle of the top right-hand side, menu 24. Let me turn that around so you can see it. Right beside it, menu 20. The other side, menu 23. Menu 22, menu 21, 19, then you get to the second layer. I got an armful here, so let me unpack. Alright, 13, cheese tortellini, 15, Mexican stew, 16, rib-shaped barbecue and pork patty, 18, beef ravioli, 17, pork sausage patty, MRE McGriddle, enough said, 14, creamy spinach fettuccine. So that is the contents of what's in the box of a case of menu B. Now, set that to the side so I can set these out and you can actually take a look. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to run out of camera space. Nine, 10, 11, and 12. 12 MREs all in a row. Ain't that just a beautiful sight? And you notice, you can see it's broken down into the packaging like it is supposed to be. 4, 4, and 4, because they have 3 different designs for the packaging. And here, let me do this. I'm going to do these in this order just so you can see. Alright, 17, 18, 19, and 20. You see they have the big warfighter. 13, 14, 15, and 16 have the striped bar going across them. 21, 22, 23, and 24. Just a big MRE across the front. If you open up case A, same way. 4, 4, and 4 on the 3 menu designs. Now, let me get these out of the way. Because I also want to go over something else. Now, like I said, these were AmeriQual MREs. And one thing I like about AmeriQual is they come in the outer bag. This is a Menu 10 chili macaroni from the A case. But then they're also sealed in an inner bag. So they actually have double protection. AmeriQual is the only one that does this. So Paco does not, Warnick does not. It's only AmeriQual. Well, another thing I wanted to show you, and that's why I have this here. I wanted to point out that the big 3, like I said, AmeriQual. Let me actually zoom in on that a little bit. AmeriQual, Warnick, and Patco are the people who pack the MREs. They provide the packaging, they provide the entrees, they provide the internals, and you can see AmeriQual has their logo there as well, distributed by AmeriQual Foods, Evansville, Indiana. But you have to keep in mind, they don't provide everything. And a lot of the internal components that are supplied by one company to all 3 of the big manufacturers, such as Sterling Foods for the bread items, which is out of San Antonio, Texas. We're not going to go into this simply because we know that's a commercially available product. Now, it's an AmeriQual meal. The crackers are actually supplied by Patco. Beverage-based powder. Not even going to try to pronounce that. JIANAS Brothers Packaging Company, Kansas City. Same thing with the creamer. The matches. And if you watch Old Smoky, you see this a lot. Come on. There it is. D.D. Bean & Sons. Lighthouse toilet paper. Coffee is a type 3. Trans Packers. And of course, my personal favorite, cheese spread with jalapenos, Thermopack, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Georgia, baby! Yeah, sorry. Now, side, beef stick, it's an Ameriqual. So yeah, just because the big three packaged this doesn't mean everything is from that big three. And it doesn't matter if you open up a Zapatco, it doesn't matter if you open up a Warnick, or if you open up an Ameriqual, Thermopack produced that cheese packet. Also the barbecue, the hot sauce. So you get the idea. But yeah, and no offense, the reason this is open is because this is my dinner tonight. You know, so I waited till after this to eat just so I could give y'all that instruction. So, all right, now, so yeah, that's tonight's trivia. That's tonight's introduction to the MRE world. Now for the fun part. We're going to do a little something fun. I have picked out six menus. We have a menu 3, chicken noodles and vegetables and sauce. We have a menu 8, meatballs and marinara sauce. We have the menu 14, creamy spinach fettuccine. Menu 16, hash brown potatoes with bacon, pepper, and onion. And menu 21, tuna chunk light water packed lemon pepper. One of these 6 items is going to be my next review. And you get to choose. Go down in the comments. Pick one of these menus. Which one you would like me to review next. Whichever one has the highest number of votes will be the next one that I review. So again, menu 3, chicken noodles and vegetables. 8, meatballs and marinara. 12, elbow macaroni. 14, fettuccine. 20, hash brown. 21, tuna chunk light. And you know I love you because this one is in the rotation and everybody knows I am not a tuna fan. So go down, leave any comments with anything I missed, got wrong, or anything like that. And also comment on what you want to see next. And that's what we'll do. Y'all have a good one.